Okay, so to start off today's lesson, we're going to construct a right triangle. We're going to be talking about right triangle trigonometry today. But we're going to construct a right triangle. I don't think you've ever constructed one. Sure, you've drawn one, but never quite constructed. So what we're going to do is we're going to use a compass and a straight edge. And I've already laid something out here on the paper for us. But what we're going to do is use the Thales theorem. And what the Thales theorem says is that the diameter of a circle always subtends a right angle to any point on the circle. So what I did was I used my unmarked straight edge and I've drawn out a segment and I call this point right here point A. Alright, so I called this point here point A, and I've got some point right here in the middle, call it center C. And what we're going to do is we're going to measure out with our compass a radius of the measure CA here. So let's adjust our compass just a little bit. Okay, right about there with center C. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a circle. And I really don't need to draw a complete circle, but I can. Okay, so there it is. There is my circle, there is my point A, and there's my segment. So what I'm going to do is I am going to draw a diameter that goes through the center C, of course. It's got to go through the center, but goes to this point right here. And this is the point where this secant line touches the circle. And let's call this point B. And so I'm going to draw a line right here. That's my diameter. And I'm going to make that secant as well. So that, well, it's a diameter, of course. But let's see, there it is. Okay. And then the next thing to do, you've got this point right here. We can call this point D. But now all we have left to do is connect points A and D here. And there we have it, a right triangle. This is a right angle by the Thales theorem. So there's our right triangle, but simply put, how can I state the theorem in simpler words? Well, if a triangle has as one side the diameter of a circle, so in this case, here's our triangle, the hypotenuse happens to be the diameter of this circle, all right, and the third vertex of the triangle is any point on the circumference of the circle, so let's say this point, or even this point, all right, of the circle, so it's the third point's got to be a point around the circumference, or along the edge, all right, then the triangle will always be a right triangle. So it's really neat, a really neat observation here, based on the Thales theorem, of course, on how we can construct really simply a right triangle. So I hope you enjoyed this activity, but let's get to talking about right triangle trigonometry and some really neat stuff using something called SOHCAHTOA.